Welcome to the second episode of the Vishwas Mudagal Show. And today I'm going to be having a caller on the show. And she's Avani. And she just messaged me some time ago that she has a question she wants to ask me. And I have no idea what the question is going to be. So let's hear it from her. I hope that she's going to be calling me anytime now. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, hi Avni.
Yeah, hi, sir. I'm a huge fan of you.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, I keep watching up your reels, and I always wanted to ask you one thing.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
So, what are the top three soft skills that one should have? What is the one topic?
The top three soft skill you're asking?
Yeah.
All right, okay, let's answer this question, okay? So hang in there and just listen to it, all right? Okay, so
Okay.
according to me, the number one stuff that you need to do is this coming up right now. The first soft skill that you need to focus on in order to be successful in your life and in your career, both, is, or rather, are, because it's going to be a thing that happens simultaneously, is basically your communication and networking skills. Communication and networking in the same breath. It is not just important to be good at your work, but it is important to communicate what all you work, how you work, what are the results you do, what are the steps you take. Continuously, you need to communicate with your team members or your family or wherever you are in your life. You need to continuously communicate. In fact, I even advise people to over communicate. Sometimes I just feel that over communication is so much okay rather than no communication at all. Especially when this COVID thing happened and a lot of people are working remotely, I saw that the biggest issue for people who were not succeeding at all was that they were not communicating at all. They were just passive, they were not active. Active communication is so much important. So that means that whenever you're doing your task, it's important that you send out an email or you talk to people and tell them, okay, how amazingly you did something or what did you do in order to achieve something. That is important. And at the same time, it's important to send your weekly reports or your monthly reports, highlight the challenges, highlight the achievements that you're looking at, right? And then mind you, just one thing is very, very important, is that people often think that it is only important to communicate when there are good things happening. Okay? Only when I'm doing something positive, only when I'm bringing some results, I should communicate. That is a mistake that many people do. Do not do that. Especially because I am running 4 companies at this point in time, and I have a simple rule for everybody in my company. All the people who report to me, I always ask them one thing. I want to hear the bad news first. I always want to hear the bad news first. And I always reward people who come quickly to me and then who are telling me that, okay, Vishwas, this is a risk. This is where the problem is. This is a challenge. And because of this, we will not be achieve something. We will not be able to achieve something. That's what the problem is. This kind of a communication is super critical. And people do not understand it at all because they feel that they have to basically be giving the good news all the time. Well, here's a wake up call. You cannot possibly do that. You cannot always have positive news, and you should not stop communicating just because of that. So, communication is very, very important. All kinds of communication, your presentations, the way you send your emails or you make your phone calls, the proactive communication is very important. And networking skills at the same time. So now what do I mean by basically networking skills? So basically when you're looking at communication, it also comes into communicating how you are on a personal branding perspective. You need to build your personal brand. It's not important to become like a great professional. People need to know what you're doing basically. So you need to write your blog, you need to have your Instagram account with maybe you're putting out some reels where you're talking about something about the domain that you are in. You can be a software engineer, you can be a marketing professional, you can be an astronaut, you can be an actor or a musician, or you can just be anybody. It doesn't matter, or a doctor even. Put out content that is amazing, okay? And then it could be a simple blog, or on your LinkedIn you are putting some content out there, or you are putting some content on YouTube, or anywhere. It doesn't matter. It can be as humble and simple as possible. It doesn't matter. But I think it's important to keep building your profile, because that is going to really make big impact in how you're going to succeed in your life, the kind of roles you're going to get in the future. That is very, very important. So communication, that translates into personal brand, and that translates into networking. So networking is when you create like a personal brand, when you're communicating your thoughts to the world out there. You need to also interact with people. You need to build connections. These connections can be on Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever, right, in your social network, but also in real life. Look at your office. You might be working in a co-working location. Look at making relationships there, building connections. It could be a gym where you go, get to know people out there. And then people who network, those are the people who succeed massively in their lives, because the new saying is this: your network is your net worth. Okay, do not ignore this, and then build your connections, and these connections are going to pay massive dividends for you in the future, because whenever you have certain things that you want to basically contribute to them, okay, always remember one thing, that when you build a network, it's not about just taking favors from them. You need to help them to be successful in their own lives. Be it a simple suggestion you give, or a simple comment you put whenever they're asking a question online, right, on LinkedIn. Whatever help that you want to give, okay, that is just fine. But those are the same people who are going to help you when you want something. You are out of your job, you are laid off, something has happened to you, you reach out to them, they'll remember that, hey, Avani helped me because of this, right? And then because of this, I'm going to help Avani right now. So that's exactly what, this is a soft skill that you need to learn. Very, very important, super, super critical. That's number one. This podcast is powered by Good Work Labs. Good Work Labs is the world leading tech outsourcing provider. So for all your tech and outsourcing requirements, log on to goodworklabs.com. Number two soft skill that you need to develop is empathy. Many people think that some people are born with empathy and some people just don't have empathy, but I beg to differ. Empathy can be developed and empathy can be fostered. And consciously, if you try, I think you can be empathetic towards things that are happening around you. All right. So I want to take you through the memory lane and then give you this one story that basically actually happened to me when I was in Amsterdam. A few years ago, I was in Amsterdam for a business trip, and during one of those weekends, I was just taking a stroll around the city. Beautiful day, beautiful city, and then I was still remember I was just walking down the street where they had so many beautiful shops and there's flower shops and all of that. So I was just walking through a very, very nice day, and by the time I was walking around, it was afternoon, and then I thought I should just have a quick lunch. And then when I looked all around, all the restaurants were like buzzing, okay? They were like full everywhere. And then everywhere I went, people are like, it's full. And I was totally discouraged even to enter into any kind of a restaurant because they were all full. And then I saw there's one restaurant which was kind of empty. Then I went there and then I ordered for a pasta. And the waiter got the pasta after like 10-15 minutes. He got it. And when I basically ate the pasta, it was really bad. It was really, really bad. And I called the waiter and I basically asked him what is wrong with this, and it's really not good and I'm not able to eat this. And then he looks at me and then he's like, it's basically standard stuff and there's nothing we can do about it. And then he walks away, right? So I was really disappointed, and then I did not eat the pasta. I just paid the money anyways, and then I got out of there. And right next to this, there was this beautiful bistro, and it was totally packed. And I was so discouraged to even enter there. But then I mustered some courage, and then I stood in the queue. This was quite a few people were standing, ahead of me, and I was thinking it's going to take a long time. But then, within a few seconds, a waitress, she came, and then she spoke to me really with such a beautiful smile. And then she's like, while you are basically waiting, we can catch up on speed. Can you basically place your order right now, so that by the time you're coming and sitting, we would have something done for you already. So I was really amazed, because she was looking at solving my pain point right now, because she was empathetic towards basically what was happening to the people standing in the queue. And so I gave an order for another pasta this time, and within 15 minutes or so, I got the a nice table where I went and I sat. And you will not believe it, so I just went and I sat like this, and within a couple of seconds, they got the pasta in front of me, and then they kept it in front of me. I was like, wow. I mean, I was amazed, because that was like speed, man. And these people were thinking at another level. Okay, it was not just about food for them, it was about empathy, it was about understanding the customer pain points. And when I actually ate that pasta, it tasted like heaven. It is one of those meals in my life that I have never forgotten. A beautiful day, and then that pasta was unbelievable. And when I ate it, and then I basically told them that this is like the best pasta I've eaten. And then basically the chef came in, and then he thanked me for the compliments and all of that. And basically I felt that they made a memory of a lifetime for me. And because that business had empathy, that is what makes a huge difference in your life. When you are able to have empathy in your workplace or in your life or anything, you are able to think from the perspective of other people. When you are able to think from the perspective of other people, you will be able to solve their pain points, and you will be able to succeed in your life, in your career. You will be able to do that unless you have put like your blinders around you, and you don't care a damn about what happens to your customers or people around you. That's when you're going to fail massively, because you're not perceptive to what these people are going through. Okay, that's when you will become like the restaurant number one that that guy was like empty. And then that's when I realized that this guy is empty, because he's not able to basically even empathize. He doesn't even understand what is going wrong. That's why he was empty. And these people are like full, because they're able to understand the customer, and they're able to create beautiful experiences, give beautiful the whole setting, and then great food, right? Great ambience. That is what you need. And I think empathy allows you to become that person and succeed massively in your career. This podcast is powered by netskill.com. It's a platform where you can upskill yourself and go to the next level. So don't forget to log on to www.netskill.com. The third soft skill that you need to focus on is time management. And do not ignore it, because many people do, and then they suffer massively. Okay? What you need to do in order to be very efficient is to set clear goals. When you have clear goals, you will be able to create a schedule, and you will be able to create the priorities around it. So every night when you go home, and then you try to go basically, and you're trying to, like, before you go to bed, you try to look at, okay, what is going to come tomorrow, and then try to create like a to-do list. That's what I do. I always maintain a to-do list, and then I'm trying to figure out, okay, all the stuff that I want to get achieved this week and the next week, and then after that I'm going to create like a list. And then what I want to do tomorrow, I'm going to prioritize it, and I'm going to just keep it on top. Okay, I'm just going to create like a simple to-do list for that day before even the day arrives, the previous day. And then I know next day I'm going to work on that. That is very important, because you will not waste your time thinking what to do next, right? And when you wake up in the morning, try to get the most difficult tasks done first, or the most critical tasks done first, because That's how you can do easy tasks later on, and then you feel a sense of accomplishment when you get up, when you wake up. For example, there is this video that goes on all the time, and I really got motivated by it. Like how this one person tells that why you need to get up in the morning and make your own bed. Because when you make your own bed in the morning, it could be a very simple task, but it gives you a sense of accomplishment, and then you feel great about yourself, and then you start your day with an easy and a great task that you've accomplished already. And after we go back home, if your day was great, you see your bed that is already made, and you feel that, okay, wow, this is, I come back to a very clean and great bed. And if your day was really bad and really shitty, at least when you come back, you have a clean and nice and comfortable bed waiting for you. So you feel good that, okay, hey, it's okay, and I'll just prepare for the next day, and then you continue, right? So it's important to do certain tasks in the morning that help you create that self-confidence, that the feeling of freshness, the feeling of accomplishment. Do a couple of those tasks in the morning first. Like, prioritize your tasks. Like, for example, workouts. I would ask you to do like a quick jog or a quick workout in the morning rather than doing it in the evening, because that sets you up for the day, right? And similarly, when you come, before you start with all your meetings and stuff, do your homework. Like if you are taking like a bus to your office, try and catch up on all the research that you need to do for your work, right? Maybe you're working on an algorithm for your program, or you're working on some marketing pitch. You need to do your research maybe on your bus, or you're commuting through like a metro, or basically if you're riding your own bike, you listen to a podcast that really sets you off for something, or in you're driving, you basically listen to a podcast. Positiveness is what you need to fill yourself in during the mornings. And remember that it's important that you try to also organize your work in such a way that you don't miss things, you don't drop things, because many people, they do not maintain a tracker, or they don't maintain a planner, or they don't set up calendars, reminders, and because of that they lose a lot of time. Because then people start following up on you. When people start following up on you on certain tasks, what ends up happening is that you basically come across as an unprofessional person, and that's like a bad thing for your career, for your life also. So set up reminders, set up to-do lists, simple to-do lists. I just maintain like a simple, like a book, and then I write in that. That's what I do. Or I have like simple notes on my iPhone, right? So very simple stuff that you need to do. And remember one thing, that learn how to outsource a few of the aspects or delegate few of the aspects. That is important in doing time management, because you cannot do everything yourself, and you need to learn how to do it, right? Outsourcing, or letting go of certain tasks and delegating it, that comes by experience, and you need to learn it. The next thing I feel that you need to do is, sometimes you need to know when to say no. Very, very important. Most people, they never say no. Everybody who comes anybody will come and ask, okay, when are you delivering this? And I said, okay, I can do it today. And then they'll say, okay, hey, no, I need it in the next 1 hour. And then they'll say, okay, yes, I can do it. But the problem is that they cannot deliver in the next 1 hour, and then they have to cut a sorry face in front of the team member, or a management, or a customer, rather than you can just say no, it's not possible because of XYZ reasons, and then this is when I'm going to deliver this stuff. And then they'll respect you, because you are able to stand up for yourself, and you are able to justify yourself, and then you're delivering on time. So saying yes all the time is not important. Telling no when it's required and standing up for yourself is so much important to be really good at time management and to succeeding in your career, because then you'll be consistently delivering stuff, and then they'll appreciate you. And because you're delivering stuff on time every time, then you're gonna be really an awesome professional. Your appraisals, you're gonna really get great rating, because that time management is a very critical part in your appraisals also. Always remember that. So rounding it off, the bottom line is time management is very, very important and something that you need to pick up. And one of these days, we're going to make like a special podcast just for time management. We're going to put a, we're going to dive deeper into it, and we're going to come up with more strategies around it. So that with this, we come to an end for basically the second episode. This is the Vishwas Mudagal Show, and then this is where we're going to basically huddle up. We talk about a lot of the questions you guys have, like how Avani called me right now. You can also call me. Just drop me a message on Insta or LinkedIn or Twitter or anywhere for that matter. Drop in your question. Our team is going to get in touch with you, or I'm going to call you myself, and then we're going to answer the questions for you. Some of them can be live on this show, but some of them just on the Instagram. We're going to reply in one form or the other. And this is a format that I'm loving. Actually, this podcast is meant to be very interactive, engaging. So please feel free to write to me how you find this show, what more I can do on this show, and do not forget to subscribe to me on this particular podcast channel. I'm going to be there on all the podcast channels basically. Please subscribe, and also on my YouTube channel and Instagram, LinkedIn. Follow me everywhere so that you don't miss out on the key tips and key stories that I'm going to be telling. I have a lot of stories. I've got a lot of practical advice that is coming your way right now, and then I want to make it super meaningful for everybody basically, so that we can grow together in this life, in this career. And our aim is to lead a fulfilling, balanced life, being successful both in our personal and professional lives. Okay, that is our motive here. So all right, so that I see you soon in the next episode. So take care.